All right, we're live. Hello, everyone. As always, we're just going to give it a few minutes for everyone to hop on and join me as you hop on, say hello. As always, let me know if you're new, returning, where you're tuning in from. I always love to see who's here. I like to connect with you guys. I've got some cards again. I'm curious if any of you have been feeling the Scorpio new moon vibes. So I'm going to be doing some cards, like some collective pulls. These are not personal readings. I'm not going to be pulling on any personal questions. If you want a personal reading, the link for that's in my bio. You can always book there. But these are just going to be like general messages for whoever's catching the live or the replay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mimi. Hello, Kimmy. Hello, everyone. Say hi. Let me know who's here. We're going to be talking about manifesting. I'm going to specifically be talking about if you're experiencing lack or lack of movement in a certain area of your life. I'm going to be speaking on that and how to shift it. Okay. And pulling some cards for the collective on how to help you shift out of that energy. Okay. And we can do some Q&A as far as manifesting, so you can get some live coaching, all that good stuff. And if you are new and if you hear a noise in the background, I'm just shuffling the cards while I let everyone hop on. Okay. If you're new, welcome. The link for anything I talk about or any way to work with me or catch the replay of this live or any other lives is at the top of my profile. Okay. So I do upload these lives to my YouTube channel. And the replay gets emailed out every Sunday. So if you're on my newsletter, it's totally free. I email you out the replay as well as an encouraging message. So if you want to sign up for that newsletter too, that link's at the top of my page. Okay, so everything's there. Cuckoo says aloha from Hawaii. Oh my gosh, I love Hawaii. And who said, I'm not sure how to say your name, Katona? Hopefully I say your name right, is new. Welcome. I'm so happy everyone's here. Yay. Okay, so also just if you're brand new, ways to work with me, we can do one-on-one Zoom sessions, you can do email coaching. I also have a lot of self-paced programs. So there are video content where I sit down and teach you in depth on different topics along with, journaling prompts. I call them like soul workbooks to help you dive deeper. Usually there's some reprogramming tools in there, guided meditations, all those things. Okay. I also offer guided meditations, subliminal tracks, affirmation tracks separately. What else do I have? I have my self-concept guide where I teach you how to manifest by mastering your self-concept. So there's a lot of good stuff if you're new or looking for extra support. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Okay, so I'm going to pull cards after we dive into the topic. I just want to dive into the topic today, and that is what to do if you feel like you're not getting the results you want, or if you're experiencing lack in some area of your life, or all areas, or, lack of movement. If you're not getting results, lack of movement. This is something that comes up frequently with my clients. I've worked myself through this, and there's a reason why. So I want to dive into it and get really specific here. Hang on one second, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm just cleaning up the room real quick. My phone's like freezing. Hang on. I was like muting these annoying people. And blocking. Okay, because obviously this is what I teach about is specific, and I like to just have a good clean group in here, keep it nice, and so we can actually learn and do what we're here to do. Okay, so here's the thing. And it's very simple, but I often find that when we're struggling with manifesting, when we're struggling to get what we want, when we feel like things aren't going the way we want them to go, it's because we've gotten too far off. Like we're veering off path, meaning we've forgotten the basics. We're making it too complicated. So for me, the medicine is always to realign, come back to basics, make sure we're mastering the basics, And then all those other things start working themselves out, okay? And this is just something that we as humans do. We get very distracted. We lose our focus, yeah? So here's the thing. This is the basic concept that I want to share with you. We always experience life the way we perceive it, okay? And where people get hung up is I hear from clients all the time saying, oh, but this person did this, or this is showing up in my 3D reality, or X, Y, and Z is happening, or I can't do this, or I'm not getting. And the thing is, that doesn't matter, because that stuff is not the cause, that's a byproduct. The cause of what's showing up in our outer reality is always where our focus has been. And this is why manifestation, so much of it is perception management and emotional regulation, okay? Making sure we're not spiraling and telling unfavorable stories, making sure we're not focusing on what we don't want, okay? So I talk about this. This is called I refer to this as the mirror principle. And this is a principle that I actually teach a lot about in my self-concept guide, okay? Hi, Kennedy. Hi, Mimi. Hi, Lily. Welcome, everyone. Okay, so it's easy to get sidetracked. Like, we get sucked into the 3D. We get sucked in by the circumstances and the people and what's happening and the things that don't feel good. And we allow those things to have power over us. It's like we get pulled off our path. We get distracted, okay? So the medicine is always to realign, come back to basics. And the main basic thing is to understand that you are sourcing it all. And the one I'm introducing today, or reintroducing, because I'm sure if you've been on this path, you've heard this, but reminding you that we're always going to experience life the way we're perceiving it. And what that means is that if you want to use it in law of assumption terms, is circumstances don't matter. All that matters is what you're doing in your present moment, the state you're embodying, the stories you're choosing to tell, how you're feeling and moving forward. Okay? And that is all going to be dictated by how we choose to perceive things. Okay? So, when we are experiencing lack, it's because we're perceiving lack. So, the practice I want to give to you to take with you through this week until our live next week is to look at where you've been saying you're seeing lack. Are you seeing lack of movement, lack of results, right? Lack of money, lack of love, lack of health, whatever, lack of happiness. Where are you seeing lack? And I want you to start asking yourself, where's the good in this? How can I see the good? Because it's just a mindset that we get trained into. We're trained to perceive lack. It's been very ingrained in us to tell the story of not enough, why something's not enough. And the medicine here for this is, how is it actually more than enough? Because the abundance, the results, the love, the money, everything you want doesn't show up on another day. It's not like it's not here today, but tomorrow it could potentially be here. It's all always here right now, because we only have the now. The quantum field, every possibility already exists. It's just like, why can't you see it? And it has to do with your perception. So it's always about adjusting it. So what I want you to start doing this week, guys, is wherever you're perceiving and experiencing a lack in your life, I want you to tell yourself that you're willing to see it differently, and ask your soul, ask your higher self, ask the universe, however you connect. Just ask yourself, ask your mind to show me how this is more than enough. Help me see this differently. What if me saying that this isn't enough or this isn't right was just an old story? What if everything exactly as it is right now is perfect? And not only is it perfect, it's more than enough. And this is something that the ego resists, because the ego gets very attached to its story of needing to control things. And, it's kind of like that part of your mind that can really limit you. It's that part of your brain that, it's like that inner critic that just never wants you to be happy, never wants to let you relax into the loving relationship, or relax into the goodness, relax into the abundance that's already there, because it's always in fear of losing it. Or if I accept this, then it will never be enough. I'll just be stuck here. But it's that lack mindset that keeps you stuck right where you're at. So I would love to hear your feedback. Let me know how this is landing for you guys. If there's anything you want me to clarify, and let me go and read through these comments. And guys, if you like this live, I encourage you to share it out so more people can get this information. If you're not following me, go ahead and give me a follow. I put content out each week and I go live every Thursday right around this time. I say 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, but I find that I usually hop on a few minutes early. And the replays are always on my YouTube channel. Kennedy says, lately I've been feeling really normal and very regulated. That's amazing. And Kennedy says, this is really hitting for you. Awesome. It's interesting because something I noticed in myself, especially when I was working on getting out of that chronic fight or flight mode, it's like survival mode. And I've noticed this in my clients too. And specifically when it comes to love relationships too, I notice this, especially with women. It's like we've been so conditioned to be in a dysregulated state that when we experience peace and stability or a partner showing up consistently, it's like our minds almost reject that. It's like you almost want to immediately create drama, or you tell a story that like, oh, this is boring, I'm bored. But that's again a perspective shift, because when you're ready to be done with survival mode, when you're ready to get out of that fight or flight, all of a sudden a dysregulated nervous system isn't exciting for you anymore. That's going to eventually stop registering as fun and exciting. And what's going to feel more fulfilling to you, more wholesome in a way, is peace and tranquility and things running smoothly. But the mind can get really addicted to the drama and the chaos and the fear and the anxiety and the worry, because it's like this chemical cocktail that your body releases because of that. So it's a whole new way of seeing things. It's a whole new way of being. It's a whole new way of showing up and acting in the world and interacting with life. Kennedy says, I feel super centered and sometimes get frustrated when I don't see some of the things. It's understandable, totally understandable. But one thing I want to add in there is, when you're feeling frustrated, how can you remind yourself of what is going right? Because when we're frustrated, it's because we're still somehow buying into lack, or we're buying into the story that things aren't working out, or it shouldn't be going this way, or this thing should have showed up already, or or we're making up stories that because this is happening right now, it means I'm not going to get to where I want to be. But that's just a perspective that you get to shift. And back to basics of what we're talking about today is that we're always going to experience life the way we're perceiving it. And while we may not have immediate control over the things that have already physically manifested outside of us in our 3D reality, what we always have immediate control over is our perspective that we're choosing, because it's a choice. Oh, my ring light's flashing. Let me tap it. Hopefully it's not doing anything funky on the screen. It's like, hang on, let me turn this on and off and see, because it's kind of making me dizzy. Well, it's just being a little weird, but if it's really bothering me, I'll turn it off later. So, Jay, manifestation can be instant. Yeah. The reason a lot of people aren't experiencing instant manifestations is because they're not changing their minds. When we really change our minds and our perspective, that's when that really clicks. That's when things shift. Because again, manifestation is not it's not creating something. Like, creation's finished, actually. Meaning it's all right here, right now. Your ability to experience it depends on your ability to perceive it. And you can't be looking at something through the lens of lack and simultaneously experience abundance, right? You're going to experience it based off the lens you're seeing it through. So this is why we talk about self-concept. This is why we talk about rewiring your mind. But some also really powerful practices, and over the last couple weeks, what I've been talking about is really being present. Not even, maybe giving yourself a break if you're someone who's been doing lots of techniques and feeling frustrated, because sometimes those techniques can actually put you into more of a space of lack. And the thing is, if you can just stay still for a moment, if you can practice, meditation of some sort, no matter how you get there, just quieting your mind, being present, just going about your normal everyday life. Stop trying so hard and just stop focusing on the manifestation. What you do is, by default, you're not engaging in those lack stories anymore. You're not engaging in the old programming anymore. And as you release that, more of what you want is revealed to you. So you can think of it like this, like if you think of a picture, like let's say on Instagram, you have a picture and you have the original photo, and then you put a filter on it, and then you put another filter on that, and another filter on that, and another filter, and you keep going. It's going to get very distorted after a while. Eventually what you're seeing is going to look nothing like really the original picture. So you can think of it like this, like, and I'll just use an example from the Bible to kind of like help people see this, like in the Garden of Eden, they have the story of like how Adam and Eve got kicked out. It's like, not even that, like they fell into, it's like when they say they fell into sleep, like they dropped in consciousness, right? Like it's like you never left the Garden of Eden, you just left it in your mind, right? And it's because of all these programs, all these filters, all these limiting beliefs that you picked up as you've gone through life, right? So it's not that you have to find your way back there. That can feel a lot like striving. You don't need to figure out how to get there. It's more so you need to let go of everything, all these lies you've started to believe, all the things you've picked up that aren't authentic to you. That's why self-love is always such a powerful practice when it comes to manifesting, because instead of focusing on the manifestation, you're focusing on you. If you have this deep belief that everything you want is actually already yours, it's actually already here, and your only job is to be able to perceive it. So meaning you're going to let go of the self-destructive behaviors, you're going to let go of the beliefs that you're not worthy, you're going to let go of telling the story that it's not working, you're going to stop complaining, you're going to stop doing these things that aren't actually in your true nature. Your job is to be you. Your job is to be present. Your job is to be happy. By default, all of these old programs will fall away. And it's like each of those filters starts dropping. You start deleting all of these old filters, and you're getting closer and closer to the original, which has always been there. It didn't stop being there. You just stopped being able to see it because you're putting all this junk on top of it. So this is why I was talking about in the beginning, it's really easy to get off track, to get sidetracked. To be like, oh my gosh, I need to be doing this. I need to go do all these things. I need to force this to change. This shouldn't be here. This isn't okay. What can I do to make it happen? And you're just going in circles over here. And it's like, it's a process to just keep realigning. Get off track, realign. And it's to stay really connected with you. The more calm and quiet you are, the more you're going to hear your inner guidance. And so it's really about how you're perceiving things. Can someone let me know if it's like really weird, the light in the video? Because it is like, it's like on my end, it's flickering and it's really weird. Okay, let me go through and read these. Hello, Live Infinitely. Welcome. Okay. A1 says, hey, Hannah, what if we have negative thoughts, feelings? Can it be intuition or fear-based beliefs? Your inner guidance, your intuition is never going to be fearful. Okay? So I teach this in all of my self-paced programs, and when I work with clients one-on-one, one of the basic things I teach you, because this is going to be your guiding light as far as like how to help you stay in alignment, is notice how it feels in your body. So when you think a thought, does it feel tight? Does it make you feel sick to your stomach? Does it feel really stressful and anxious? That's a sign that it's fear. That's not you. That's not your highest. That's not your inner guidance. When you can start going for a better feeling thought, a thought that feels slightly less restrictive, you're getting closer, right? So if the thought, no matter how unbelievable it is, makes you feel more relaxed and soft and like, okay, everything's okay, it's going to be okay, that's the voice of love. And the thing is, fear is really loud. So sometimes people have a hard time accessing their intuition because they have been engaging with their fears too much. So in cases like that, it's really important to intentionally go in and strengthen your faith muscle, strengthen your intuition, work on calming those fears and doubts and anxieties. You don't want to keep playing into them. The more thought you give that, the more you ruminate on something, the more you hyper focus on how it's not here or what's wrong, you're just getting further and further off track. You know, like you need to bring it back. Let me know if that makes sense. So a really good way to gauge that is how it feels in your body. Jay says, reality is a simulation, it's all just feedback. Well, yeah, mirror principle, like we were talking about earlier. It's all reflecting back where we're at energetically, where we're at internally. And that's why it's always an inner game. I'm not saying that you're never going to take action in the physical. Like we're here having a human experience, yes. But as someone who for many years tried to manifest through just doing the physical and felt like I was failing in every area of my life, I will tell you 100%, you need to go in and do the energetic, the inner work first. Without that, anything you do is going to be futile. It's going to feel very difficult. You're going to probably struggle to maintain results. It's never going to feel like enough, no matter what you get. Even if you get success, it's never going to feel like enough because you're operating from emptiness inside. So it's always to align your inner world with what you want. Kennedy says the lighting isn't bothering you. Okay, cool. I'll just leave it. Unless it starts really bothering me, then I'll turn it off. Manifesting is choosing the unveiling. Exactly, Kennedy. Like letting yourself see it. And that's why like practicing non-reaction and cultivating inner peace and choosing to enjoy the present moment and focus on what's good and just allow yourself to really be present instead of worrying about what's not working. It's such a powerful practice because it's like you stop telling the negative stories for long enough that all the good stuff can start coming in. I fully believe negative emotions is your body's way of telling you it's time for a change. Yeah. And, you know, like, I think a lot of people get really hung up on trying to figure out where the negative emotions are coming from and tell a story about it and need to get rid of them. And one of the most powerful things I've learned is to just be okay with it. Oftentimes that's just old programming leaving your body. Yeah? You don't need to make up stories about it. The more you can just stay calm and let it pass and not resist it. Resistance is when you're tight and tense. When you're soft and calm, it's going to pass. You know, we're here experiencing duality. You can't fight against the things you don't love. You know, the more you engage with that, when you fight with stuff and engage with it, you're actually prolonging your experience of it. So in the moments where you don't feel good, just stay calm. Take care of yourself. I teach this in my program, Manifestation Mastery. I teach you how to really balance like your masculine and feminine energy. And then when you're feeling good from that space, then go in and if you want to do techniques, do your techniques. But don't do them from this needy, desperate space of, oh my gosh, where I'm at is not okay. I need to fix it. I'm going to affirm until it shows up. Like that to me is very forceful. It's very like lackful. You're actually more reinforcing the fact that it's not here. And the truth is, it's like there's always going to be something that you aren't experiencing currently, right? Like it's part of the unfolding. And you always have a choice to focus on what's not here yet or focus on what is here and what is working, you know? And it's, I don't know. I feel like the less I tried to make stuff happen, the more things started happening. And the more I just worked on feeling better and being appreciative of the good things and focusing on what was working and doing the things that were within my control, the things I could work towards, doing those consistently because that made me feel good to be consistent. Like the more things just started working out on their own. And I started realizing, okay, I don't need to be like micromanaging the universe and how this shows up. Like it heard me the first time. It heard me like 10 years ago when I wanted this thing. It heard me because I totally forgot about it. And here it is coming into my reality because I'm finally an energetic match to it, you know? So I think people like really overthink it and really overdo it. And I know some people hate to hear that about like being an energetic match to it, but really the way I look at it is just being in the receptive mode. So if you follow Abraham Hicks, I talk about the last step in manifestation is to be open to receive, but where I see most people staying tripped up is they're gripping so tight. They're like so focused on how long it's been or that it's not here yet, and they won't let themselves feel good. And feeling good is the receptive state. And I just want to remind you that if you knew for sure that you were going to get everything you wanted, and that it was already planned out for you, and you were right on track, and that you can never mess it up, and that in each moment there's so much goodness for you to experience, and it's safe for you to lean back and not stress out and enjoy where you're at, and that as you did that, the more you relaxed, the more you were going to receive, and it was all going to unfold perfectly for you in a way better than you could ever plan, because what you can plan is just based on your limited experiences from the past. If you really trusted that, you would feel safe to lean back and surrender to that. So for me, so much of this is adjusting your perception, learning how to be present, telling the story of this is actually more than enough right now, instead of telling this isn't enough, this isn't working, and work on building your faith and trust. Those are really good things. And so, yes, you can have fun with self-concept. You can go in and you can affirm things for physical appearance. You can affirm things for love. You can affirm things for money. But really, the most important, powerful self-concept work you can do, in my opinion, is stuff that's more general, along the lines of everything's working out for me. The more I relax, the more I receive. Things like that, really general, because these are like your foundational beliefs. If it doesn't really do a lot of good to affirm for specific things if you don't have a general belief that things work out for you, or that you get to have the things you want. It's kind of like if you're going to affirm for specific things, but deep down you don't believe you can have it, it's going to cause more resistance. So go with these general statements when you're struggling, okay? Kennedy says, we're so wired to think we have to accept awful things as truth. Yeah, and it's like, truth never feels awful. I'm not saying that life isn't hard sometimes. Life is going to be hard sometimes, but you always have a choice in how you perceive it and how you navigate through it. How do you hold yourself in those moments where it feels tough? Do you fall apart? Do you spiral? Do you complain? Do you go back into old self-sabotaging things? Do you give up? How do you hold yourself? Do you resist it? What we resist persists. Nay says, I keep playing victim in my head. I'm trying to stop and say, he loves me, he loves me. Well, if you're feeling so much resistance, honestly, it's better to just get off the subject. Because right now, just from that comment, Nay, I can tell you energetically, I feel you really latched onto this person. And really that needs to be redirected to yourself. Okay? Let me know if that makes sense. Guys, I got through all the comments. I feel like this would be a good point to pull some cards. So just to clarify for anyone new who's hopped on, this is not personal readings. Okay, I just saw worthiness, so I'm gonna leave this out and talk about it. This isn't about this is not to ask personal questions for me to pull on. This is just general messages that I'm giving extra for whoever's tuning in live or the replay. If you guys want a personal reading, you can get one. It's on my the link in my bio has all the different ways you can work with me, okay? So I'm just giving that disclaimer because every time I get out the cards, I get random people hopping on asking me to pull on things. So Kennedy says she loves a good reading. A1, what does the Bible mean in resist the devil and he must flee? Honestly, the way I would interpret that is not resist. I would say ignore. Because think of that. It's okay, you're not going to hook into what the temptation is, right? It's Neville explains this really well. If you're someone who grew up Christian and you're struggling to understand how manifestation fits in with the Bible, I would really suggest some of the people you could listen to would be Florence Scovel Shinn, Neville Goddard, Catherine Ponder. These are old school people who taught metaphysics in the Bible, because through the Bible, because the Bible is a manifestation handbook. Jesus literally is teaching you how to manifest. But Neville, let me bring it back. Neville says things wither and die with indifference. So basically, pay no mind. Pay no mind to the things that are making you miserable. Pay no mind to that voice in your head that wants you to criticize everyone and everything. That's the little voice in your head. That's the little saboteur who's just going to keep you miserable. It's like their job is to keep you miserable. Pay no mind to that. You know, whatever you feed is what's going to grow, and you feed it with your attention. This is why it is so important, your perception management and your energy management. Everyone, you're welcome. I'm glad that makes sense. Kennedy's giving Nay some really good advice. She says, anytime I focus on SP, I naturally shift the attention to myself. It feels amazing. Yes. And it's so important to like learn how to feel good regardless of what's going on around you, because when we make it dependent on the manifestation, we then are a slave to that. So when we get the thing, we can't even enjoy it because we never really learned to love ourselves. And then we're so worried that we're going to lose it. Okay. So the one card that came out here is worthiness, and at the bottom of the deck is waves of prosperity. So here we go. Again, it says, know that you deserve to receive good in all ways. I actually have like a little mini program called Worthy. I also have a program, these are both self-paced programs, called Receive. So if you guys feel like you struggle with this, you could check those if you're looking for like a self-paced program, but let me read this to you out of the book, okay? So it says, you've been blocking your manifestations due to deep-seated beliefs that you don't deserve them. Manifestations are not rewards for good behaviors. They are effects of your thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and actions. When you allow yourself to receive, you help with God's plan to demonstrate love everywhere. Accepting heaven's help isn't just about you personally. It is about allowing yourself to be helped so that you in turn can then go help others. Accept good graciously and affirm, thank you for all the gifts that have come to me now. I gratefully accept them for the good of all. Okay. And then we have waves of prosperity underneath, which says, new waves of abundance are sweeping over you right now. Observe any ideas that enter your mind at this time, as they may be seeds of a profitable new venture. Also notice any out of the blue phone calls or chance meetings with people who could help you. This card also means that you're on a success streak. This is an excellent time to begin new ventures. Of course, follow your inner guidance and do appropriate research. You'll see that doors open easily for you and that you're filled with extra confidence and enthusiasm. Practice being a grateful recipient of good. So there's two messages here about receiving your good and being grateful. Okay? Know that there is an ocean of abundance with no danger that it will dry up. Okay? So two things coming here. Release any guilt around receiving. Okay? There's more than enough. And when you are in that space where you're like, don't want to let yourself feel good because you say it's not here yet, things don't look the way I want, remind yourself that you are worthy of feeling good now. And that the more you relax, the better you feel, the more you receive. Okay? So this is very much shifting your energy and your attention and your focus off of the manifestation and onto you. Doesn't matter how bad you want your manifestation. It doesn't matter how many affirmations you do for your SP. If you are in this energy, you're not going to receive it. And the thing is, it's always seeking you. The things you want are desperately trying to make their way to you. But we are so powerful that if we are in this space, if we are resistant, if we are very committed to our pain, if we are committed to our struggle stories, if we're committed to the anxiety and the fear and the worry and telling the stories that it's not enough or it's not here yet, or, you know, all of that, we resist it. It's like we put this wall of resistance up, and it's like, it doesn't change the fact that it's right here for you. But here's the thing, the more you let your guard down, let those walls down, the more you're going to let it in. Okay? And if you're at the start of this journey, or even if you've been doing this for a long time, but you feel like you haven't been receiving, this is your sign to start really working on your energy and how you're feeling. Okay? Being in the present moment, relaxing. Even if you don't see how it's going to work out, just start relaxing, and you're going to start having things work out for you. And the more you receive, the more you're going to believe, and the more you're going to feel safe to relax and receive. But it has to start somewhere, and it has to start with you. You have to take that leap of faith to really trust and know that it's safe for you to relax. And you can do that in really simple ways. You can do that with just relaxing your body, you know, even if it's for 5 minutes a day. Set an alarm on your phone and just, okay, I'm going to use this time to just clear my energy and relax, maybe put on some relaxing music. If you want to put on an affirmation track, if that makes you feel good and relaxed, you can do that. Again, if you're someone who's been like really hammering in affirmations though, I would suggest going more general. And I did create a really awesome track a couple weeks ago, which is like, it's a guided meditation in the beginning. You can read all about it. I have it on the page. We can read all about it, but I do UR affirmations to help you really get into like a soft, relaxed, meditative state. And then we go in with some affirmations to build trust and faith and let go of resistance. And then it softens into like the whisper method. So it gets more like subliminals to help you really just relax. I want to say it's like I want to say it's an hour-long track. Please don't quote me on that, guys. I make these things and then sometimes I forget. But the people who've signed up for it really love it. So that something like that, if you feel like you struggle to just sit and meditate, could be really good. Feeling safe to relax. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? And an affirmation I love to say is, it's safe for me to feel safe. It's just training yourself a new way of being, okay? I want to pull an affirmation for you. This is out of The Universe Has Your Back. Oh my, guys, you cannot make this stuff up. Okay. When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. I'm covered in cold chills. Tell me that is not perfect for what we've been talking about today. Like, if that doesn't just sum it all up, I don't know what does. When I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. It's not about changing things outside of you. It's about changing your perspective, because we experience life the way we choose to perceive it. Okay? I'm going to pull one more. I'm going to pull one from the Journey of Love. Oh, well, it just flipped right through, right out. The Communal Dance. So let me find that. It's number 5 for any of you who are into the numerology. It says, "Lover, you have been alone too long. Your community calls you to surrender your isolation for this moment in time and instead join the cosmic conga line. Do you know how special you are? So much so that this community would not be the same without you. Your individuality and uniqueness can only enhance the group of souls that calls you to dance with them. Men and women, human and spirit, heaven and earth, your community is vast and rich and has so much to share with you. Be lifted in celebration of belonging. Recognize that you are a part of something great. Can your heart grow warm with recognition? You belong. You are meant to be a part of this great dance of love awakening on the earth. Your heart is already beating to the rhythm of the music. This oracle brings you guidance. You are being drawn into a new community that is more aligned with your innate spiritual vibration. You will feel more at home there and able to share your gifts and talents more freely with greater support. Let go of all relationships or situations that you have been holding on to out of fear. If they are meant to continue with you, they will remain. If not, they will fall away, creating space for new connections to come into your life now. This is not the time to hide in what you have known, but be open to playful connection and kindred spirits soon to meet." Okay, so yes, this can quite literally mean surround yourself with new people, being open to new connections. But I also, what I'm picking up from this is like letting go of that comfort zone of the fear of like being stuck in the fear. And like, what did it say? It's not the time to hide in what you have known, but to be playful, but to be open to playful connection. So like more play, more getting curious of like what makes you more alive. And simultaneously, like, because I think a lot of times what I see in clients, and I've done this myself in the past, is like you get so hung up on trying to make things happen. You can get so hung up on that you kind of stop living your everyday life and you stop pursuing things that are fun or new or exciting. So get to know yourself. If you feel like you've been like way too sidetracked, come back into alignment with yourself. What things make you feel alive? What kinds of people feel good to be around? What kind of activities do you like? And if you're looking for a new tribe, that's a really wonderful way to meet people. Like, I've always made friends at yoga, like, and I've moved around a lot, so it's always like something like that or whatever you enjoy. Just breaking out of your shell. And this is the number 5, which is denotes freedom and change. So it's like, not, you don't want to stay in that 4 energy. It's stable, yeah, but it's going to be stagnant. You want to keep growing, okay? So I intend that that was helpful. Feel free to let me know if this resonated with you guys. So yeah, just to sum it all up, going back to basics and remembering that we're going to experience life the way we're perceiving it. So wherever you're experiencing lack in your life, wherever you're feeling dissatisfaction, how can you drop the story of this shouldn't be happening, this isn't okay, it's not here yet, it's not enough, any of those sad, disappointing stories. How can you switch it to, okay, I'm willing to see this differently? That can be your bridge, your like gateway into it. And then actually, this is more than enough. I'm right where I need to be. Everything's working out. And there's so much goodness here for me. Stop being so hung up on noticing what's not there yet and start appreciating what's here. Work on loving yourself more. Stop focusing on your manifestation. Start focusing more on you. Work on being in the present moment. Create little moments of joy. Create little moments of peace, no matter how small, and it will grow. Because it's a matter of putting down that lens of lack, of not enough, of disappointment, and picking up the lens of being fulfilled, being content, being happy, abundance, more than enough. Everything's working out. Does that make sense? Do you find that as you relax into unfavorable thoughts that the knowing it's yours increases? Yeah, I mean, I feel like the more you can practice just not resisting, like not resisting the resistance, not being afraid of it, just know that it's old programming, you're going to land more in certainty because you're going to be more in a place of peace. And it's like, I feel like first comes the like certainty that it's yours, that it's going to happen. And then after that, you almost get to this point where it's like, you don't even care because you realize it's not even about the thing anymore. It's about how you're feeling, and you're learning how to fill up your own cup. You're learning how to be self-sourced. You're learning how to feel good without it. And then ironically, that's when it starts coming in. And sometimes it comes in exactly how you've been wanting it to come in. Sometimes it shows up completely differently. Sometimes something even better comes in. We don't want to control that. You want to get to the space where you're no longer trying to control it, where you're no longer resisting. But yeah, like when you doubt that you're going to get what you want, practice, nope. I know that if I want it, it's available to me. The things I want are because it's what I'm meant to experience. But you can take it deeper by really going for like, okay, the things I want, why do I want it? Do I want more stability? Do I want more security? Do I want more happiness? Do I want more freedom? Do I want to feel more love? Do I want to feel more free? I don't know if I always said that. How do you want to feel? Because we miss the mark when we think it's the thing we want. You 100% can get the things. You're going to get the things. But you can't get it before you match it. And you match it through the feeling. And you almost have to get to this point where you are so unconditional with your energy, with your vibration, with how you're feeling. You can't make it conditional on the thing. Because if the thing's not here yet, then you're never going to feel good. But if you can feel good now, then the things will come. But the best part is, you don't even really need it. And I think that's actually why some people stay stuck in these cycles, because in a weird way, we're addicted to the chase. We're addicted to the adrenaline, just like the people who get addicted to the really shitty, toxic relationships because they love the ups and the downs. It's like, you can do that, but you're always going to have an experience of like, it comes and it goes, it comes and it goes. Or you can just opt for like the peaceful, steady, secure, like stable thing, And so I think there's like a part of it where it's like, we need to be honest with ourselves. Like, what are we getting out of it? Out of the struggle, like we're getting something out of it, even if we don't see it. It's sometimes like we're addicted to the struggle. like hurts so good, you know? So this is why I teach the practices of being present, of practicing peace, practicing non-reaction, practicing calming yourself, calming your nervous system, calming your mind. Because the more you practice that, the more that's going to be your dominant vibration. Whereas up until this point, likely it's been like the survival mode, the fight or flight, right? And that's what feels more exciting to you. Even if you're like, I just want peace, your mind's like, yeah, but that's not what we do, you know, and it sabotages. So you keep feeding the good, you know? Do I ever get scared that I'm going to manifest something bad? Ava, no, but I used to be really scared because I think I just didn't have good general beliefs in the beginning that things work out for me. So the way I worked through that fear was just I kept affirming like everything's working out. Everything's getting better and better. It's safe for me to let go of this fear and anxiety, and I'm allowing things to be worked out for me. I'm allowing myself to be guided and led. If something hard comes up, because it's life and sometimes hard things come up, I trust in my ability to overcome it because I'm an overcomer. That's what I do. I don't get stuck, right? Like kind of lean into that inner fire and that power and strength of like, I'm not going to just roll over and accept shitty circumstances. I'm not going to back down and turn away the second things get hard. Like, I'll show up and do my part, and I'm going to be guided and led. And I'm open to magic and miracles too, you know? Like, you get to pull from all of it. I hope that makes sense. Well, guys, this feels like a good stopping point for today. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for joining me, everyone. What does Liv say? Liv says, I told God I was ready for the next level, and then I got triggered today. I took that as get ready. Liv, well, often what happens, I explain this in my program Manifestation Mastery. Like when we really get clear on what we want and we decide the next level, it's like immediately our old mindset starts fighting off with that. And that's the immediate resistance, like that fear that like triggers, you know, like, and it's, you have to stay loyal to your decision. Most people get triggered and turn back the other way and revert back to their small ways. It kind of boils down to like, how bad do you want it? Are you willing to face off with all your old shitty beliefs? Because nothing's in the way other than like your old mindset, you know? And I think it's important to remind yourself of that. Like, it's not that serious. Like, you're not actually in danger. It's just old beliefs. It's just fear, and it can't hurt you. You know, like sometimes we're just so afraid of the fear. What's that that cheesy quote? It's like fear knocked and faith answered and nobody was there. You know, like, and nothing was there, something like that. If you don't know the quote, you can look it up. But it's so true. It's like you don't answer the door because you're so afraid of it. You're like, there's my fear. But if you would just open the door with faith, if you would just take that step forward on faith, you'd watch the fear just dissipate because it's not even there. And I just always like to go in with positive beliefs like, okay, this may be tough, but I'm stronger. And, you know, I can do anything because I'm not doing this alone. I'm not doing this just with my human. I have all of heaven backing me up. I have my inner being, my soul, my guides. Everything in this universe is rigged in my favor. I am not alone. You know, God is on my side. You know, whatever you need to say, however it makes sense to you. I know sometimes I say things from a biblical standpoint, sometimes from more of a spiritual standpoint, but it's all the same. It's, you want to find what feels good to you and causes the least amount of resistance, because whatever you can get your energy behind is going to work. If you believe you can just speak things into existence, that's going to happen. But if you feel like, okay, I feel like I can't do this on my own, but you were brought up Christian, being like, okay, God is on my side. If that helps you like relax and feel like, okay, I'm not so small in the face of this problem, then lean on that. Like there's a lot of Christians who really allow wonderful things into their lives just because they believe God's going to make it happen for them. You know, so it's whether or not they allow themselves to be happy, that may be another question, because I know Christianity is really built on a lot of shame, you know. So it's just kind of pick and choose from these things. Find your own unique way of understanding this. You always want to work on building your relationship with the universe, however you connect, whether that's, you know, your angels, God, the universe, your inner being, your soul, however you connect. But you want to work on building that faith, or just faith in general, that like life is good and life is here to help you, because it is. Liv says, I love this. Thank you. You're so welcome. Okay, guys, getting all rambly, but I'm gonna log off. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for all the love. I'm happy to see some old faces and some new faces. For those of you who are new, if you're not following me yet, I encourage you to do so. I go live every Thursday right around 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I upload the lives to my YouTube. I send out a free newsletter every Sunday with the replay of the live, as well as an encouraging message for you. So if you want to subscribe to my YouTube or sign up for the email list, all of that is at the linked at the top of my page, as well as ways to work with me, any of my offers, my guided meditations, affirmation tracks, self-concept guide, all that good stuff, okay? So thanks for being here. I hope you guys have a really amazing rest of your week, and I'll catch you next week, okay? Bye.